You don't recognize the guy in the mirror anymore. You catch your reflection in a window at the airport, in a parked car, and there's a half a second where you don't connect with what you see. Look, I'm Nolan Ulm. You don't know me yet. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why this is happening and exactly how to fix it. Stay with me. Stop me if any of this sounds familiar. You've been telling yourself you'll start Monday for 14 Mondays in a row. You sucked in for that family photo last weekend and then refused to look at it. You bought another program, that course, that app, that PDF from that guy, and quit by Thursday. You're working out, you're eating clean, and nothing changes. The scale doesn't move, and your shirts fit the same. And there's a thought you haven't said out loud, which is that the body you had at 22 was the best it's ever going to be. If two of those landed, you're in the right place. You're not crazy, you're not weak, you're not undisciplined. The structure that you used to have got taken away and nobody replaced it. That's what we're going to do today. So here's who this is for. You played a sport and you don't anymore. You're, 27 to 45. You run something, a team, a company, a household, a P&L statement. You've got 30 to 50 pounds you can't shake and you're tired of pretending you don't notice. Here's who this is not for. You're trying to lose 6 pounds for a vacation. You want a 30-day fix. You want to be told you're crushing it. You want a magic supplement. If you're in the left column, keep watching. If you're in the right column, close this video. I'd rather you walk away now than waste your time watching this. Quick on me and then we can keep going. I played 6 seasons of Division I football. I was a captain my last 2 seasons. And I've now in the CFL, got drafted to the Toronto Argonauts. I play for them over in the 6. And I'm telling you all this for one reason. I've spent 15 years inside locker rooms watching what real conditioning looks like and what happens to athletes who stop having it. I'm not theorizing. I've built a system that's rebuilt that conditioning, the fitness, the physique, the lifestyle, the habits in over 100 men, and 98% of them got the result. 2% quit. The system works when you don't quit. That's it on me, and now back to you. Over the course of this video, I'm going to show you 3 things. 1, why everything you've tried hasn't worked, and it's not what you think. 2, the exact 3-pillar system that gets former athletes back to athletic, shredded condition without crashing your work, your sleep, or your relationship. 3, what it actually takes from you. The real, the honest, no spin. And at the end, you'll know whether to book a call with my team or not. Either answer is the right answer if you arrive at it honestly. So let's get into this. It isn't willpower. You're going to want it to be willpower because that's the story you've been told. But it's not. Here's what I want you to actually internalize. Willpower, discipline, motivation, the stuff every other fitness guy on Instagram talks about, that's about 5% of why you're stuck. The other 95% is structural. When you played, you had structure handed to you. A practice schedule, a lifting program, a nutrition standard, accountability built in, peers around you doing the same thing. You didn't need willpower because the structure carried you. And then you graduated. The structure left and nobody replaced it. And we're asking you to summon in your 30s, in your 40s, a level of discipline that you never actually had to have when you were 22 because the system did the work. You do not have a willpower problem. You have a structure vacuum, and that's what we fix. Let's run through the things that you've tried. CrossFit, F45, Orange Theory, group classes. They get you sweaty. They don't get you lean. Random workouts. No periodization. No specific adaptation. Macro tracking apps. Counted calories for 6 weeks, lost 3 pounds, and then you put 4 back on after. The app is the calculator. You needed a system. The influencer PDF, some 6-pack guy on Instagram sold you his routine, and it's his routine. It's not yours. He's 23. You're 41. Different bodies, different lives. And the big one, the solo grind. You've been doing this alone. No accountability, no data, no adjustment. Just you in your garage hoping. And hope is not a strategy. None of these failed because you failed. They failed because they're not what your body at this stage of life with your responsibility actually requires. Metabolism. Stay with me. This is the thing nobody explained to you correctly. Your daily calorie burn has 4 components. And most guys think exercise is the big one. It's not. Exercise, formal training, is about 5% of your daily burn. 5. The thermic effect of food, 8%. That's the energy that your body uses to digest and break down food. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, walking, fidgeting, standing, about 17%. Basal metabolic rate, what your body burns just to be alive. Breathing, beating, thinking, 70%. 70%. You've been hammering the 5% and you've been ignoring the 70%. And that's what ends today. So here's what they didn't tell you. Every diet you've ever done, the cleanse, the cut, the calorie deficit your buddy sold you, taught your body the same thing. Food is scarce. Slow down. Conserve. Your body did exactly what it's supposed to do. It dropped your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. It dropped your thyroid output and it cranked up your cortisol, which led to it holding on to fat. Every restrictive cut you ran in your 30s made you a worse fat burner in your 40s. The reason you can eat 1,800 calories a day now and not lose a pound is because of the diets you ran when you were 30. You didn't fail those diets, they damaged you. We have to undo that before we cut. That's where everyone gets it wrong. They cut a metabolism that's already broken. We fix the metabolism first. This is the loop you're stuck in. Restriction. You decide that you're going to eat less. Adaptation. Your body slows down to match that. The plateau. The scale stops. Rebound. You can't take it anymore. You eat normally for a weekend and the weight comes back faster than it left. And then the worst part, it's that internal voice that says, see, I knew you couldn't do it. Then you do it again 3 months later. You haven't failed at this 50 times. You've failed at the same broken loop 50 times. The loop is the problem. The pattern is the problem. We have to break the loop. We have to break the pattern, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Here's the shift. What you've been doing is eating less and moving more. To the right, this is what we do. We eat more. We optimize the engine. And that sounds like a gimmick. I know that. But it's not. And we're going to spend the rest of this video making it scientifically obvious to why eating more is the only way out, especially for a man at your stage of life with your training history. So stay with me. This is going to make sense in the end. This is the Bulletproof Shred. What I'm about to walk you through is the system we've used on over 100 men. And it has a name. Like I said, it's the Bulletproof Shred. It's 3 pillars and they all run together. And the reason it's called the Bulletproof Shred is because once you have it, you don't lose it. The conditioning is durable. The body composition holds through the holidays, through travel, through stress, through your daughter's birthday party. We're not running a 30-day cut. We're rebuilding you from the metabolic level up. And here's how. Here's the 3 pillars. Metabolic priming. We fix the engine. Athletically shredded. We train you like a detrained athlete, not a beginner. Data-driven systems. We don't guess what's working. We measure. We adjust. These 3 are not optional. You can't do 1. You can't do 2. The result is a function of all 3 running consistently for the duration of the program. And here's a quick warning. Pillar 1 is going to feel counterintuitive, and that's the point. If it felt intuitive, you'd already be doing it. So here we go. This is the one thing that nobody's doing. This is the unfair advantage. Every guy your age has been told carbs are the enemy for 15 years straight, and it's wrong. It's not nuanced. It's just wrong. Thyroid. Carbohydrates are the primary signal that converts T4, the inactive form of thyroid hormone, into T3, the active form. T3 is your master metabolic accelerator. No carbs, equals no T3 and no metabolism. Cortisol. If we look in the middle here, cortisol holds belly fat. Chronic carb restriction keeps your stress hormone elevated 24/7. The leaner you try to get with low carbs, the more your own body chemistry holds the fat in place. Performance. No glycogen equals no power output in the gym. No power output equals no muscle. And no muscle is not what an athletic body is built of. The guy who stays shredded year round, they're eating 350 to 500 carbs a day. I know that contradicts everything you've heard. That's because everything you've heard was wrong. So here's what we actually do. Most guys, when they want to lose fat, they do this. They cut calories, the body adapts, BMR drops, plateau, stay there. What we do, first phase, we go the other direction. We reverse diet. We prime your metabolism. We add, 25-ish carbs, depending on your situation, a week. So 100 calories almost a week. We build muscle. We walk daily. We make sleep a priority. We're not cutting fat. We're building the engine. And the result at the end of phase 1 is your maintenance calories are 600 to 1,000 calories higher than when you started. And so when we cut, we have a much higher ceiling with a body that has an incredible amount of metabolic horsepower to actually drop fat. So most guys are trying to cut from a starvation baseline. We cut from a high ceiling baseline, and that's the whole game. This is Parker. He was a software engineer, still is a software engineer. He played college ball, and he came to me eating 1,800 calories a day, training 6 days a week, not losing a pound. So most coaches would have cut him further, but we did the opposite. We reverse dieted Parker to 2,900 calories over 12 weeks, and he gained 4 pounds during the priming. He didn't like that at all. But then we cut, and he dropped 22 pounds in the next 16 weeks, eating 2,400 calories a day. His instinct, and your instinct watching this video right now, was that he needed to eat less, and that instinct was the problem. So the second pillar, the athletically shredded model, okay? You're not a beginner lifter, you're a detrained athlete, and there's a massive difference. What most guys your age do, CrossFit WODs, F45, random YouTube splits, that program that some friends is selling, none of these are programmed for the goal of getting an athletic body back. They're programmed for the goal of making you sweat. You leave sweaty, and then 6 months later, you look the exact same. What we do is periodized blocks. We do strength blocks. We do power, hypertrophy, conditioning. We mix in isometrics, eccentrics. We're going to have you running. We're going to have you doing plyometrics. All of this is catered to build your body back to where it was. A body that can handle the demands of life, that can jump into any activity with no repercussions. We program an actual peak. We have deload weeks, just like all the things that you experienced as an athlete. You wouldn't have shown up to your camp or your season doing random workouts. Your strength coach would have fired himself. And that's why you're doing it now. It's been random, and random doesn't get results. One thing every program for your guys' age is missing is isometrics. Held positions, max tension, no movement. You did these as an athlete, and you didn't know they had a name. Different forms of wall sits, of lunge holds, pause squats, loaded carries, isometric with your calf raises, the thing your strength coach made you do for 30 seconds and that made you, want to quit. The thing he started every phase with, long holds. These were building your joints up, and this is part of what actually made you durable. Now, your everyday civilian fitness dropped this. CrossFit doesn't program it. F45 doesn't have it. Bodybuilding just focuses on concentric. Yes, there's eccentrics, but we got to put isometrics and we've got to do plyometrics so you can go and actually play with your kids and not worry about popping your Achilles or anything like that. The 3 reasons we put isometrics into every training block is tendon strength. So your connective tissue, it mostly never gets trained if you don't do this. And what this does, it bulletproofs your joints so that you can lift more weight. And when we lift more weight, we have more muscle. Force production. It trains your nervous system to use the muscle that you have. More usable strength without more volume. Isometrics are a lot lower impact on your nervous system and everything, your tendons, your ligaments, all that too. So it's something that we can do a lot longer, and it builds a crazy amount of capacity for you to be able to take on a lot of volume. And then joint health, right? Loaded holds at the end of this range, they build durability where injuries actually happen. So 2 minutes of an isometric hold outproduces 20 minutes of random sets. This is a non-negotiable in our system and something that everybody in our program raves about and never ever goes back to not doing them again after they do this with us. Deloads every fourth, fifth, or sixth week, depending on where we're at with our biometrics and different data, we will have a programmed back off. Half the volume or half of the intensity, depending on how you respond with your body. It's going to be the same movement quality. And most guys think deloads are weakness, and that's backwards. Deloads are how you stay strong. Deloads are how we allow for super compensation, it's called. When we push and we train hard, we're going to maybe even get worse than we were to begin with. But when we allow for a deload and allow for us to really reap all the benefits and gains of our lifting, training, that's when we make those super compensation gains. Most guys, like I said, think they are weakness, but they are where you get the most benefit from all the work that you've done. Without them, you stack fatigue, you plateau by week 6, your joints flare up, sleep collapses, you quit by week 10, and this is the cycle every former athlete knows. Ramp hard, break, restart from 0. 6 restarts a year. With them, we go 3, 4, 5 weeks hard, 1 easy week, and then we repeat week after week, month after month, and then you finish month 6 stronger than month 1. Deload is when your body actually builds. We program it, you don't decide. You weren't smart enough to deload yourself when you were 22. Your strength coach did it for you. You're not smart enough to deload yourself now. And that's the part of what you're doing when you join this program. Here's Trey, a sales manager who played college football. He hadn't seen his abs since college. He didn't have any more time than you do. He runs a team. He has a packed calendar. He's on calls all day. He has a significant other. And then he ran this system and it fit to his schedule. We worked with him. We put all these pillars in place. We put the structure back in place, and he was able to get back to his dream body. He's at the point where he can go and take pictures at pool parties and be proud of what's being put on display and not have to suck in or time him, flexing or getting in a certain angle for the picture. It's just who he is. It's who he became by running this method. The third pillar that we talk about is data-driven systems. We don't guess, we test, we measure. And there's 3 layers that we're running every single week. So we got our daily check-ins, our biofeedback. We got sleep, hunger, cravings, training energy, stress load. All this we have in our check-ins, okay? We also have the option for quarterly blood work. And we also do gut and DNA testing as well to work with your biology, depending on what you choose to do with us. We see the trend before you see the trend. This is where we use our wearables, our Whoop, our Aura, Apple Watch, whatever one you're already on. We get HRV, we get resting heart rate, we get your recovery score. Your body tells the truth before the mirror does. When we get this blood work, this quarterly panel, we're able to see free and total testosterone, your fasting insulin, your full thyroid. We're not running you blind. Most coaches give you a meal plan and they check the scale on Friday. That's not coaching, that's a calculator. We are running you and your body like a system that gets debugged and evaluated every single week. Here's Austin, a financial advisor. He played college hockey. His whole career is based on iteration and on numbers. Quarterly reviews, adjust the portfolio, reallocate, reassess. He'd never applied that same discipline to his body, and we did. 6 months. Athletic, shredded transformation. Running a book of clients at the same time. If you run something that requires data discipline at work and you're not running data discipline on your body, that's the gap, and we close it. One more. Here's Derek. Now, Derek came to us. He had lost some weight before, even with the photo on the left, and was always in this position where he was kind of just struggling with his fitness and health. And he came, and he wasn't the guy that had 6 pounds to lose for a vacation. He was a guy who had written off his body, and he wrote it off years ago, and he stopped fighting it. And so he jumped into the system, and 6 months on this system, fully committed, no negotiating with the protocol. These are the results that he got. And he wasn't some genetic outlier. He just did the work. He didn't say, I'm going to skip the training, or I'm going to do the training and skip the carb prescription. He didn't say, I'm just going to do the weekly check-ins when I feel like it. He attacked the system and committed to a new identity for himself. And it's not just Derek. We've got Ryan, we've got Jared, Cyrus, Noah, all different ages, different starting points, different jobs, but the same system and the same outcome. Every single one. Plus 100 other men I'm not showing you on this slide because we'd be here all day. When I tell you the system works on every guy who runs it, this is what I mean. There's nothing exceptional about any one of these men. The thing that's exceptional is what happens when a man stops negotiating with the protocol. So what does this actually look like in your life? Here's 1 week. It's super simple. 3 or 4 lifting days that are periodized, that have our isometrics, that have these different methods that we're doing within the workouts. We got 8 to 12,000 steps a day, depending on where you're at in your program, non-negotiable. We've got a weekly biofeedback check-in. We've got our weekly review. And depending on where you're at, we've got a full rest day. For a lot of you, it's going to be 2 full rest days. We set up your meal prep system. We plan the next week, and that's it. We're not asking you to go live in the gym. We're not asking you to meal prep 9 times a week. We're asking you to run a precise, programmed week and stack those. And if you stack these with this level of structure, before this, you'd already have the body that you're trying to get back. And you can do this. You've done it way harder. So here's the cost of staying where you're at. 6 months from now, same pool party. The shirt fits. Not fits, it fits the way it used to. You don't suck in. Photos are taken and you don't dread them. The reunion next year. You walk in and nobody asks what happened. Nobody's watching the front door for the version of you they remember. Your kids see you do hard things on schedule, and they learn what that looks like by watching you do it. This is what's on the table. It's not abstract. It's just through stacked weeks and stacked months. Or you go to the same pool party and you're 12 months heavier. You sucked in for the photo, then you didn't look at the photo. Another 5 pounds on, quietly. The way the last 15 slowly crept on. The same internal voice, just 12 months louder. Harder to ignore, harder to start, and another start on Monday. Same Thursday, you quit. You already know which one you're going to be in. The version of you watched this video and acted, or the version of you that watched this video and bookmarked it and saved it to watch for later. Both are real, but one of them is the rest of your life. So, if you're still here, what's the next step? You book a 30-minute strategy session with myself and the team. Free, no pitch. On the call, we do 4 things. We assess where you currently are. Honest. We need real numbers, not just good vibes. We diagnose what's actually broken, what isn't, and most guys are surprised. Number 3, blueprint, your specific 6-month protocol. You leave the call with the plan whether you work with us or not. Number 4, at the end, we decide. At the end, we tell you honestly whether you're right fit for our community and for the Bulletproof Shred method, and we do say no a lot. This is not high pressure sales. If we're fit, you'll know. If we're not, we'll tell you what would be a better fit for you. We are a fit if you're an action taker, not a content consumer. You can take direction without negotiating it. You play 12-month, 6-month games. You're done blaming time, kids, work, and your wife's cooking. We are not a fit if you want a 30-day quick fix. You want to be told you're crushing it without doing the work. You want someone else to do the work for you. You're looking for the magic supplement, the app, or the hack. If you're in the second column, that's completely fine, and there are coaches out there for that. We are not one of them. I am not one of them. I know what you're about to say and what you're about to tell yourself because I've heard all 3. I don't have the time. Trey runs a sales team. Austin runs a full book of clients. Jared runs a company with 2 sons. They all have the same 24 hours you have. The men who get the result are not less busy than you. They're more decisive than you. They have better systems. The next thing I'm going to hear is it's expensive. Every month you stay in the same loop costs you more of the guy you used to be, and that's the real price. The most important thing that you can invest in is yourself. And we're here because we get results. We're not something that's not going to work. You're paying to get the result. That's it, period. The dollar number on coaching is incredibly small compared to the price of another year as this version of yourself that you're trying to leave. Let me try one more thing on my own. You've been trying on your own and you're here. And it's gotten you these results. And you already know. You're watching this video. You already know that it's enough is enough. So here's just the numbers. 100 plus men rebuilt, real men, real careers, real before and afters, not hypotheticals. 98% success rate. The 2% that don't make it are the men who quit. And the system doesn't fail when you don't quit. The only variable that we cannot control is whether you show up. And so that's on you. You don't need more motivation. You need the structure that you used to have when you were an athlete. Adapted to the man that you are now. And that's it. That's the whole truth of this video. Once you read it once, you can move on. Maybe you got to read it twice so that you can actually act on it. One more thing before we go. You will never feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. The man you used to be didn't wait to feel ready before 2-a-days. Before a hard training session. He didn't poll himself on whether today was the right day to run a 5:30 a.m. lift. He just went. Your job today is not to feel ready. Your job today is to decide which future you're committing to. So if you're fit, book a strategy session. The link is in the description right below this video. 30 minutes free. We'll tell you honestly whether you're the right fit for this program and whether this is the right move for you. And if it's not, we'll point you in a different direction. So if we are incredible, we've got a plan for you. And if we're not, you walk away with a clear diagnosis than you came in with. Either way, you win for taking the call. And that's the whole offer. So now or 12 months from now, after another loop, same Mondays, same Thursdays, same mirror, or this, calmly, on purpose, once. Only you can make that decision. This has been a Make It Happen coaching presentation. I'm Nolan Ulm. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make It Happen out.